Hello, this is Dr. Wendy Rowley. This is what you can do now in the new energy for your personal evolution, and it's episode 10. And the title of this one is, excuse me, but it's a lot to remember. It's the new way of communion. So we know there's new divine intelligence coming in, new divine feminine coming in, new upgrades to the Christ healing ability for those who do healing work. And so let's see what this one's about. Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light. This is indeed Alania of Cosmic Service, a Palladian Mother of Sound. Peace be with you, peace be with you, and peace be with you. We have very bright sunlight coming in here, so it's a little brighter over here. And that's why it looks like half dark and half light. All right. So in the energies that are coming in, let us speak a little louder. Now there's, this one wants you to know, because she forgot to say, upgrades of the MacBook and upgrades of Zoom have thrown out the Motu and the Shure microphone. So she's working through that, and that'll be coming online. So we're using the speaker microphones, and it might be a little louder. So we're sorry if you're having to adjust the volume in some of these series lately in these episodes. So in the new energy that is indeed coming in, that is brand new, percolating online, coming in greater degrees over the next 3 years and coming down to your palpable level the following 3 years, there's going to be an upgrade into the intuition factor for women, which we've spoken about. There's going to be an upgrade into the knowing factor for women, which we've spoken about. And there's going to be something that's going to be like mixing the two together. It's this mixing quality of knowing and intuition that we'd like to speak about today. Knowing is often referred to as a quality of your seventh chakra, your high spiritual nature. And it's that instinct that comes through the higher self and the soul into the spirit body of just, you know something. You know it deep within you, and it's often from your Akashic records, from something that you have spiritually learned. And that's a lot of where the sense of knowing comes from your own experience in your spiritual nature. As this one read long ago by a fellow named Edgar Cayce, who was born in the late 1800s to the early 1941, he passed away. He had said that it is all of the spiritual wisdom that you learn that is taken up at the end of your life and travels and goes with you between incarnations. Not only while you're in spirit between incarnations, but in your next incarnation. And that's a beautiful thing. And it's what's called the gold that gets taken up at the end of life and stored up at the various levels of soul. There's your individual gold and your collective gold. That which you do with your own will, that is goodness for others, and that's what you do in groups, which is goodness for others and the greater good of all. So, and then this is used in healing and evolution and actually some very, very high profound things that go on at the periphery of the planet in the levels of, we may be so bold as to say, the archangelic kingdom. They do things with the gold that humanity creates out at that level. So in the understanding of knowing, it is something that most humans can relate to. And intuition is often referred to as that gut feeling you have, that feeling that you are just not knowing it, but you have an instinct about it. And instinct and intuition are often correlated, but they're actually different. You have a lower instinct in your body level that's related to a primitive brain that has the flight or fright mechanism in it that sets off the adrenal glands to do something, get out of the way of that car, in the old days run from that lion or tiger or predatory animal, and it keeps you safe, and it's part of the body systems, and it's purposeful. Then there's the intuition, which is part of your soul nature, and that is a kind of like a direction of knowing truth or the right direction or steps to take, or don't take a step or direction and wait. It is a not quite a knowing, but it is part of your spiritual heart field feeling nature. And it has connections in your spirit body up to the higher self, to a higher level of the Akashic records, which are your higher self's records of your earthly incarnations, where we said that wisdom gets taken up. And it's a level that sits below the gold that you use in healing. There's actually an intuition level there. And that is getting an upgrade. And it's getting an upgrade through the golden layer where those good deeds are stored. So now, when you pass away, not only will your gold deeds be taken up, your wisdom of your experiences here and that which you learned in knowing will be taken up, but your intuition will now be taken up. And there will be changes that will happen over time. It used to be that you used your Akashic record knowing for a decision making based on that was bad. And now we have mentioned this before. That does not feel good, therefore that must be the right decision. But with this switch and change, it'll be that because of intuition as more of a positive thing, it'll be the feeling when making a choice that that one feels good, that must be the right decision. So it's like a blending of intuition and knowing, and intuition and the golden Akash of good feelings. So it's like a marriage between these three things, between your Akashic records, the golden Akash of your good deeds that have to do with healing, and the intuition of that higher level that you didn't have as much access to, but it was a vague feeling. Or if you've worked a lot with your spiritual nature, it was a little bit of a stronger feeling, but it could still get confounded by all sorts of other things. Now it will become sharper. Now it will become fed more by the soul, and now it will become fed more by the soul group consciousness that is coming and evolving to ever greater degrees during your evolution on the earth. And so this is a beautiful thing, because it'll get to be that more people will make decisions based on the good and the uplifting and the best and highest good for all. And that's something that is needed in a system on a planet where the people want to evolve. So this is one of the gifts of the Creator through the divine intelligence that is happening out at the soul group level, not only out in the greater field where you first come into the planet, but also out in the interim grid, or the interim Christ grid, the Christ grid, and the human consciousness grid. For those are all various layers out in the noosphere, as people call it, the collective consciousness around the periphery of your planet, where you all are. Not only when you first come into a planet, but between lives, you join up there with your soul and get succor and rest and all sorts of things, and then incarnate again. And that's the way the system works. So this is what we wished you to know this day, and that you are dearly loved, and that there are beautiful and benevolent things happening outside of your news going on that are great and uplifting and beautiful. Peace be with you, and we will see you in the next episode.